The Emmerdale character, portrayed by Andrew Scarborough, has been identified as the one responsible for sending Kim Tate to the hospital. What makes the revelation even more intriguing is that he is not working alone in his plan to get rid of her. On Monday, Kim arrived at Wishingwell for a dinner with the Dingles. The intention was to talk things through and mend relations, as the two families have been in conflict for most of the year. However, things took a dramatic turn towards the end of the meal when Kim began struggling to breathe and eventually collapsed. She was rushed to hospital, where resident Dr. Jacob Gallagher explained that her symptoms were consistent with mushroom poisoning. Graham took it upon himself to search for the person responsible, which appeared to be a clever tactic to deflect suspicion away from himself. While the Dingles argued over who might have served the contaminated mushrooms, Joe Tate and Dawn Taylor arrived at the hospital to check on Kim. Shortly after, Jacob returned with Dr. Todd, who delivered new information about Kim's test results. She revealed that Kim had an excessive amount of painkillers in her system. This shocking news suggested that Kim may have caused her own condition, while also indicating that Jacob had made an incorrect diagnosis. Kim chose not to dispute the findings and had to accept that she had unintentionally taken too many drugs. As she processed the situation, Graham was in the bathroom at Home Farm, speaking on the phone. He confirmed that the plan involving a double dose of medication had failed. Frustrated, he told the person on the other end of the call that he would need to come up with another way to deal with his problem. Graham is certainly a calculated individual. A few days earlier, he had come across Kim at Butler's farm, where she was waiting for Ross Barton to pick her up. When Ross failed to arrive, Graham returned and assisted her, as she was still dealing with pain from a leg injury after falling off Ice the Horse over Christmas. This created the perfect opportunity. Graham had swapped her medication with a higher dose, and since no one was around when she took it, she had no reason to suspect anything was wrong. Kim believed the incident was her own fault and never once suspected Graham. So, what will Graham do next? Emmerdale spoilers hint at attack on Graham Foster as crossover storyline revisited. Emmerdale is set to explore Graham Foster's connection to Jodie Ramsey from Weatherfield as the mystery surrounding their shared past continues to unfold. Fans of the ITV soap have been left questioning how Graham came to hold Jodie captive in the back of his van during the crossover episode aired in January. When Graham spotted Joe Tate amid a motorway crash, he left Jodie and the van unattended, giving her the opportunity to escape. After realizing she had gone, Graham made a mysterious phone call, informing the person on the line that she had managed to get away. He also stated that he was ending their arrangement. Meanwhile, Jodie was found by DC Kit Green, who arranged for her to receive medical care. During her recovery, she met her half-sister, Shona Platt, before later moving to Weatherfield. New spoilers now suggest that Graham will be violently attacked as his former partner, Rona Goskirk, rushes to help him. Tension builds when Marlon Dingle begins to suspect something is wrong after catching Rona in a lie about a visit and follows her to Home Farm. Rona quickly steps in to assist Graham, following an assault carried out by a group linked to the broken contract. There is growing suspicion that these attackers may be connected to Jodie's escape. The unexpected closeness between Graham and Rona leads to a near kiss, all while a heartbroken Marlon watches from a distance. Unable to keep quiet any longer, he confronts Rona about whether she still has feelings for Graham. She tries to explain herself, but the situation could leave her husband deeply hurt. According to the actress who plays Rona, the fact that Jodie escaped meant Graham failed in his mission. Since then, he has been keeping a low profile, but recent events, when Rona asked for his help in finding Dylan, may have exposed his whereabouts, allowing those he once worked with to track him down and seek revenge. This ordeal may finally shed some light on Graham's mysterious ties to Jodie, though many questions still remain unanswered following his return after several years away. Emmerdale fans call it a turning point, as Joe Tate's true nature is finally exposed. Viewers of Emmerdale believe a major turning point is approaching, as Joe Tate's real personality is set to be revealed in upcoming episodes. The character, played by Ned Porteous after his return in 2024, has been causing chaos in the village ever since. His storyline started with a disturbing plan involving kidney theft, as he desperately searched for a suitable donor. The situation became even more serious when he triggered a Valentine's Day limousine crash by drugging Noah Dingle and leaving him to wander onto the road after discovering he was not a match. This tragic event led to the deaths of 3 villagers. Joe's actions were first exposed during a tense gathering at home farm for Lydia Dingle, and later he was thrown from a window by Dawn Fletcher after she learned he had threatened her daughter, Clemmy. Despite all this, Joe appears to have avoided real consequences and continues to live comfortably, with Dawn still supporting him. He has since returned to his manipulative ways after witnessing Victoria Sugden kill John Sugden in self-defense, using footage of the incident to blackmail Robert Sugden. Through this blackmail, Joe forced Robert to hide passports belonging to trafficked workers from Celia Daniels' farm inside Moira Dingle's home, which resulted in her being arrested on suspicion of double murder. Joe has now taken control of Butler's farm, where Robert is currently staying. However, the Dingle family fought back by stealing and selling their former herd of cattle. In upcoming scenes, Robert plans a strategy and joins forces with Ross to bring Joe down. The duo attempt to access Joe's laptop, but Dawn unexpectedly walks in and catches Robert in the act. Under pressure, Robert confesses the truth to Dawn, revealing that Joe has a video of Victoria and John that needs to be deleted. The big question is how Dawn will react once she learns the truth about Joe. In a discussion online, one viewer expressed relief that Dawn was the one to discover what was happening, suggesting that although the storyline feels complex, it may mark a turning point rather than another moment where she ignores Joe's behavior. Another social media user shared a similar opinion, saying Dawn has one opportunity to make things right, while pointing out that Joe had been recording Victoria during a violent incident. On Monday, Kim arrived at Wishingwell for a dinner with the Dingles. The intention was to talk things through and repair their relationship, as the two families have been in conflict for much of the year. However, the evening took a sudden turn when Kim began struggling to breathe and collapsed. She was rushed to hospital, where resident doctor Jacob Gallagher explained that her symptoms. Emmerdale continues to air on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.